Hello, fourth grade. So for this last part of this assignment, we're going to be starting in more detail about the gold rush. So I have some videos for you guys to watch. We're going to go ahead and hop into those videos. I already have open for you. So the first video we're going to watch, the first thing we're going to do actually is we're going to take a look at Google Earth, and we're going to look at the Sutter's Mill replica. Now we're going to use Google Earth to zoom all the way in. We can see that we're in California. And here we can see Sutter's Mill, or the replica of Sutter's Mill. So let's take a look at the information that we have here. Here we have some pictures that we're going to explore. Now, Sutter's Mill was a sawmill that was owned by 19th century pioneer John Sutter, where gold was found, setting off the California Gold Rush. Now, this was a huge historical event for California. We're going to go ahead and take a closer look at where it's located. So the gold rush happened a lot of times near, people were mining for it near bodies of water. They would find little pieces of it in the water. So we can see over here, we're by the South Fork American River. This is one of the gold discovery sites where we have the replica of Sutter's Mill. Next, we're going to hop in and take a look at some of the videos for this lesson. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first video.
In the early 1840s, California was a distant outpost that only a handful of Americans had seen. The sleepy port that would become San Francisco had just a few hundred residents. One of the wealthiest people in the region was John Sutter, an affable Swiss immigrant who came here in 1839, intent on building his own private empire. Sutter soon built this fort, amassed 12,000 head of cattle, and took on hundreds of workers. His most prolific crop was debt. He owed money to creditors as far away as Russia. But Sutter was a man with a dream of a vast agricultural domain that he would control. By the mid-1840s, more and more Americans were trickling into California by wagon and ship. Sutter welcomed the newcomers, more subject for his self-styled kingdom. But Sutter had no idea that the trickle would become a flood, a deluge of humanity that would destroy his dream. Sutter's undoing began here, 50 miles northeast of his fort on the American River. In late 1847, James Marshall and about 20 men were sent here by Sutter to build a sawmill to provide lumber for Sutter's growing ranch. The sawmill was nearly complete when a glint of something caught Marshall's eye. It was January 24th, 1848.
I reached my hand down and picked it up. It made my heart thump, for I was certain it was gold. The piece was about half the size and shape of a pea. Then I saw another.
After making the greatest find in the history of the West, Marshall and the other workers went back to work. But they kept stumbling upon more gold, nugget after nugget. Still in disbelief, Marshall took samples back to Sutter's fort. Here, in this room, Sutter and Marshall tested the shiny metal as best they could. A tattered encyclopedia gave them clues. It was gold, they concluded. But neither man was happy about it. Sutter was building an agricultural fiefdom. He didn't want the competition that gold might bring. And Marshall had a sawmill to build. Gold hunters would just get in his way. So they made a pact to keep the discovery a secret. It wasn't long before stories of gold filtered into the surrounding countryside. But there was no race to the American River, not yet. The news of Marshall's gold was just another fantastic tale, too unlikely to be believed. The gold rush needed a booster, and Sam Brannan was the man. A San Francisco merchant, Brannan was a skilled craftsman of hype.
Okay, so that was our first video. Our next video that we're going to go over for this area is going to be an animated map. So I want you guys to take a look at this.
In spring 1846,
Okay, let's get back into our reading. We're going to read about the gold rush. It was the year 1848. California was not yet a state. Most of its residents were Native Americans. Then something happened that caused 100,000 people to move west. A man working on a sawmill found flakes of gold in a river. He told his boss, and they both tried to keep it a secret, but word got out, and soon the state was filled with people looking for gold. These people were known as 49ers. They were named this because of the year when the largest group started to arrive. The 49ers came from all over the world. San Francisco grew from about 200 people to almost 40,000 people in 4 years. Towns like this were known as boom towns. When a town was deserted because the gold was gone, it was called a ghost town. Write what you learned from the videos below. So think about what you learned here in the reading. Make sure you're also annotating this page. This is the same page that you guys were working on. Make sure you annotate this, fill in your answers, name and date at the top. Go back and review the videos. The links are going to be in Google Classroom for you. And write down important things that you noticed in the videos and important things you noticed in the reading passage. Please make sure you write down enough information. 1 or 2 things is not enough. Try and fill up that section and fill out those lines. That's it for this part of the assignment. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.